Welcome back to Interviews. Today we're breaking down episode 7 of Wistoria Wand and Magic Season 2. The episode was titled, He Said He Would No Longer Hang His Head. And I want to warn you upfront, I have feelings about this episode, really strong ones. Like, the Tower Mages are really testing my patience right now. And, I will be addressing it directly. Let's just get into it. The episode kind of just starts with a recap of the entire fight itself. So I think I'll be skipping the first, I don't know how long is it, 3 minutes of the entire episodes because it's like a recap of last episode. So anyway, the real episode begins with the events after the first bloom. And before I continue with everything, we would just helped save the capital. He displayed combat ability that kind of put him alongside with elite mages in the real world. We saw um I think I think it was episode 3. When was the fight? I know it was not I think episode 4 or 5. We saw him how he was able to easily defeat monsters that even elite mages were struggling with. And some people will be saying no, it's because they were he they couldn't use their magic. But even so, he really doesn't use magic and uses a sword, and he was able to defeat high level demons. And he also defeated a threat that could that he killed a monster that had killed previous Magia vendors before. That's something that you should even they should even put them alongside the Magia vendors, because with Whis alone, I think he can pretty much solo any elite mage there. Maybe I think he'll struggle with the Magia vendors because we don't know the full capabilities of Whis, but he is a really strong person. So tell me why the tower's leadership won't fully acknowledge him. Like I really don't get it. Are they dumb? Like I'm gonna are they really dumb? Because we know the only way to defeat the outer demons is with the fifth element. Something even the Mercedes, the Mage Queen couldn't achieve. But the higher ups of the tower really want to put him down because he's using a sword instead of the versus a wand. Because I don't even think the fifth element can be used with a wand. I don't know, we don't know much about the fifth element, but like shouldn't they be preparing a counter attack? Because with the fifth element and being having a way to actually defeat something that can absorb magic, doesn't that mean that they'll be able to you know push forward and actually remove, actually be able to see the real sky? And then we have this dumbass, which, God, if there was a way to slap someone through my TV screen, I would, 9 times out of 10, no, 10 out of 10, I would have slapped the hell out of him. I would have slapped the glasses out of him. I would have slapped the clothes out of him. That's how he's the most stupidest person I have ever seen. And who is this guy? His name is Cloyd. He kind of looks at Will and essentially says you haven't proven yourself and don't deserve to stand alongside mages, and the mages he's talking about are a bunch of bums. We all know mages, the mages are a bunch of bums. We have the mages which graduate from the tower couldn't even make it to even climb the tower. They couldn't even achieve around 7,000 points. Those are the bums. Like you have mage killers who can assume a mage won't be able to kill them, but he's talking all the crap about anything else. Anyway, let me continue. The tower's various factions gather around to evaluate group, because joining a faction is the next critical step into climbing higher and eventually reaching Opharia. And we have most of them who still kind of see him as three things. He's either a swordsman, pretending to be a mage, a dangerous unknown entity, or simply someone who doesn't really belong here. Which all three are really disingenuous, are pretty like I, I don't know. Okay, let's just strip away the Maggie Avengers. Genuinely elite tier, the most of the people talking down to Will couldn't even put up they really couldn't put up a serious fight against him. like they know this on the same level. Like for the test, like you might be wondering what this is. Like they're basically like, I don't know what the name. I forgot what the name is, but they're basically something that can be killed with a simple magic spell. So he Will's test is basically like demonstrating that he can use a level of magic, but which is really stupid because if you really wanted to test how strong Will is, then they should have put him against like a mage to show the capability between him and Will. And a condition they could have put was he shouldn't use Wiz if like they want to be like serious and testing, because even without Wiz, Will is like at the level of like, I don't know, a semi elite. Like I think I wouldn't say a semi elite rank. With Wiz, I think he's a higher than elite, but like he's like in the middle line without Wiz, but like still, it's really a really stupid, like test that he has to take. And like I know like the mage world is like built like a system designed to like exclude people like the dwarves. Essentially anyone who can't use magic is like excluded from their world. You like I think you'd be considered lesser than a monster because a monster can use a level of magic. So like the lowly, even they are lower than insects in their eyes. Make like mages in the eyes of the mages, Will is a lower than an insect. Anyway, one of the more entertaining parts of the episode is the relationship between Julius and Will. And like specifically how much he's changed while kind of refusing like accept that he's changing. Like he still is arrogant, don't get me wrong. He's like he insults Will, like he still carries himself like he's doing everyone like a favor by being in the room, which I really hate about him. But underneath all that, something has kind of clearly shifted. Like he understands Will's potential and like better than anyone, like most people in the tower even, except Shion. I think as Will's best friend, Shion is like the one who supports Will the most. Like in this episode, we kind of see him actively help Will like refine his abilities. Like even though he was prideful and like he was giving us backhanded compliments, and he kind of barely acknowledged us in a possible way, but like he's still helping us. Let's just get what we have. Like I genuinely did not expect like these two to develop an actual dynamic beyond rivalry. Like I didn't even think Shion will be in like more of the episodes, but watching how Julius anyway, just watching Julius become Will's reluctant, too proud to admit it supports. I mean, too proud to admit supporter is like one of like the highest the highlight of the episode. Like even though we know his reason is to use you to get close to the Ice faction, like I said, we just have to get what we can get. The biggest focus of the episode is Will working to combine magic and swords more efficiently, and Julius is helping him. It kind of helps by demonstrating how ice magic can be infused directly into sword skills, Will's sword skills, not Will's sword skills, sword techniques. It's kind of like creating what the episode calls a magical sword style connected directly to Wiz. And this kind of hints at something important about Will's future. Like we all know he was never going to be like a traditional mage. That's not his path. What he might become instead is something the tower has kind of no category for. Like someone who channels magic through like combat in a way that doesn't really fit the existing like factions framework, how mages kind of have to fight in long range depending on what type of mage you are, but we would be able to like use long range magic and fight in close combat as well. And I've also seen some people online kind of theorizing that we could eventually like wield multiple elemental magic like forms. And like I think that's the right track because, but I also think he still isn't like accessing like the full element like to its fullest. Like the fifth element is described as something capable of harming demons beyond the barrier, which means its ceiling is far higher than what we've seen. Like we've only seen like glimpse of it, and like if you include like the fight between the defender, we still didn't see like the full potential of it. It's basically like when Goku first gets Super Saiyan. Like when Goku first gets Super Saiyan, you know he's strong, but like once he refines it and kind of we get start kind of getting like Super Saiyan 1 and 2 and 3, like Will's Wiz right now is basically like a Super Saiyan 1, so we need to refine it more and achieve like new state right there. And like the title kind of connects directly to Will's emotional arc this episode. And for those who forgot what the title was, the title of the episode is that he said he would no longer hold like hang his head. Like earlier in the story, like like he absorbed humiliation quietly. He was humiliated, which I'm still very freaking frustrated about that. Like he was like doubting himself constantly, and like he accepted discrimination even in even in the academy itself. He was accepting discrimination, like, but like in this episode, you kind of see that that version of Will, it's kind of like disappearing. Like he's standing taller, he's challenging authority more openly, believing slowly and imperfectly, but genuinely that his strength has real value in it. Like he like even in season 1, if you rewatch it, you can see like he doubts himself and his strength very much. But like in this episode, you can see how he kind of starts thinking like he is he's worth more. His strength is greater than what he is right now. Like the episode doesn't give him physical victory to like celebrate. The win here is like internal, and for those and those are often like the ones that we get last. Like a physical victory, like an emotional development. You know, like don't get me wrong, he still suffers in this episode. He will still suffer in upcoming episodes because I doubt even if he like passes the upcoming test, I doubt he will still be fully accepted by these freaking mages. But like he's no longer the same insecure boy we met like in season 1. Like our boy is growing up, in every episode I want to see what I want to see how far his growth will take him. I want to see more of his growth. Like underneath all of it, episode 7 is really about one thing. How many times should someone like have to prove themselves before like the system actually accepts them? Like when does like perseverance become exploitation, and can talent actually overcome prejudice, or does the system just keep moving the goalpost like independent, like does the system always move? Even like what I'm saying is, even if he passes this test, I feel like a goalpost will come. They'll tell him to do something else, and if he does that, they'll continue doing that. They won't fully accept him until he does. I don't know what they want him to do for him to be fully accepted. I really don't know. They're a bunch of bitches. The not real, but like these mages, I really hate them. And like I kind of know some of other people online were like really upset about like the reputation, how he was discriminated in the academy and now in the tower. Like people feel like it's constantly repeating itself. But like even though I think it should be like, I still think, because if we'll like, okay, I know I'm hating the majors, but like if we'll use the fifth element past the tower and like it was smooth sailing after that, I wouldn't I wouldn't really be happy with that, because not everyone is happy about your success. As we can see, some of the kids in the academy were happy that Will is going to the tower, but people in the tower didn't really have like a good reason to like actually believe in Will, because in their mind they think like the Magia vendors can save them their whole life. So like, what should a boy who's wielding a sword really accomplish? So if you feel like the series is basically repeating itself, then I don't know what to say to you, but to me, I feel like it. I don't. I like. I know there should be more like than the discrimination, and there will be more, but like the discrimination won't just end because we will actually save them. Because in shows that do that, I really think I don't think like I think it's disingenuous, because if you save someone, like for example, for the dwarves, even if the dwarves saved them, there are still people who still hate the dwarves. That's basically what I'm getting at. Anyway, time to end this real quickly. Here's the question of the day. The question of the day is: the tower keeps moving the bar every time. Will Like every time Will clears it, do you think like someone inside the tower will eventually become like a genuine ally who advocates for like for him publicly, or is he going to be forced to like get the recognition every time he gets like an achievement? I don't know. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Hunter, and I'll see you in the next one.